All right, welcome to Amateur Hour with Dan, episode 2, where amateur play meets amateur analysis and commentary. I'd like to first introduce you to the man in the red, which is myself, Dan. And at the back, we have John. He's been drilling with me recently, and we've been making some good progress. So, what is this video about? So, first of all, what you're looking at here is just some drilling practice that we're doing. This video is about making good third and fifth shot decisions. Now that unfortunately is not the most sexy video title. If I wanted to get lots of views, I'd probably be like, this is the best third shot, or this is the best fifth shot. But I've run into a bit of a problem when deciding whether or not I should drop my thirds or drive my thirds. So here's the problem. Let's try to answer the question. What's better, a third shot drop or a third shot drive? Here's another question. Should I drive my third and then drop my fifth? Well, it would be nice if there was a straightforward answer to that question, but I find sometimes when it's a professional player playing or answering questions like that, they seem to have more consistent and predictable opponents. Everybody's playing a high-level game with very similar shots, perhaps. So pros might be able to say, well, personally, I never drive my third. I like to drop my thirds. And that is perhaps true for them, their mechanics, their gameplay. But when you're an amateur like myself, you actually encounter a variety of weird returns. So it's difficult to predispose yourself to either a drop or a drive. So let's take the example of, say, personally, like as just from my point of view, I really do like a good third shot drive followed by a fifth shot drop, because I find a good low drive can usually produce an easier ball to drop from perhaps the transition zone. Okay, so that's what I would personally like to do. But what I've found is that very often I'll get a really, really short, low ball as a return, and if I decide to drive that ball, it's going into the net. So in that situation, a third shot drive is the wrong choice. So what should I do on my third shot? If the ball is low and short, I should drop it. Okay? So same with my fifth. If the ball is well out in front of you and it's nice and slow and low, drop it. When should you drive a ball? You should drive a ball when it goes very deep and you're at the back at the baseline. And you should drive a ball also when you've gotten a high rebounding ball. So a ball that's going to have a nice high arc that you can attack. So that should, I don't think you should drop that ball. I think that's an attackable ball, and you should crush it and see if you can put some pressure on your opponent. So now let's talk a little bit about what we're drilling here. I might loop this back if we run out of footage. So this is basically a 7-11 drill. The player at the back, at the baseline, is playing a third shot. And the player at the kitchen line is doing a return. So we're cutting out the serve. We're just going straight return into third, fifth, and whatever, and then playing out the point. So let's take a look at one of these and see if John makes the right choice. Basically, a good third and a good fifth is not going to necessarily win you a point, but it should allow you to progress to the kitchen so that you can start to play the game out from the kitchen and look for a way to take a point off your opponent. Okay, so let's watch a return here. I'm going to give him a return, and he's going to do his third. High return gets a two-handed drive, fifth drop, and by I think the seventh he's in at the kitchen line. So mission accomplished. Good decision was made, and the point gets played out. Let's try it again. Once again, a high, there's a drive, and a drop on the 5th, and he's at the kitchen line. So far, he's been able to drive those 2 balls because they were high rebounding balls. This is a short low one, and he drops it. What a beautiful drop by John. So we had a couple nasty pop-ups there, but the point being, John made good decisions. When the ball was in front and low, he dropped it. When the ball rebounds high into the air, he drove it. There's a nice, a bit of, that's okay. Even bad drops can sometimes be good as long as you're prepared. One of the other things that John worked on in this, there was a nice drive, is he actually worked on not rushing to the kitchen line. So the third shot drive, oftentimes you have to evaluate that drive, whether or not you can advance on the ball. Because if the drive is too high or attackable, then your opponent's going to pin you back. If you run through that fourth shot, you're going to be in trouble. So John here actually is working on taking his time to get up to the kitchen, maybe even on the 7th. Let's see how I handle this. High gets a drive, 5th drop, and we're at the kitchen line. Perfect. Low is a drop, and we're at the kitchen line. So even though personally what I want to do is a 3rd shot drive and a 5th shot drop, just like that, it's not always the right choice. And I'm sad to say that I wish this video could be telling you what the absolute best thing to do is. But the best thing to do is evaluate the shot, make a good choice, and then capitalize on your decision. I hope that helps, guys. And I think that's the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out for Amateur Hour with Dan. And make good choices on your thirds.